what do you think is a big misconception that women get wrong about femininity?
That's what I thought about today. I feel like women think being feminine is more of a physical thing, like
What do you mean by that?
wearing dresses, doing your makeup, just being a girly girl.
Okay.
But being feminine is mostly an internal thing.
Okay. So like if you could describe like that internal feeling, what does that look like? I know we kind of already mentioned some of the characteristics of
That's what I meant
femininity,
by
but
internal.
okay.
Being the supportive, emotional, empathetic, all that stuff.
Okay. Would you say one of those elements would also be something along the lines of being intuitive?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, do you view yourself as an intuitive person?
I'm an overthinker, so
Okay, fair enough. What I will say though is with my experience with Jaden, I would say she's surprisingly one of the most intuitive people that I've ever met in my whole life. Like she'll think things that I'm thinking about, and it literally makes no sense. Or she'll question things that I'm thinking about, and I'm like, you literally have an insight that I've never seen in any other person.
when have I done this?
What?
When have I done this?
I would say the most recent event, maybe like a few months ago, I'd say. But yeah, it's insane. I do believe that's going to be an element of women that are feminine. Through the women that I've met, the ones who are the most feminine were the ones who are the most intuitive. They have inclinations that they're feeling that they don't exactly know why they're feeling. And maybe I'm potentially thinking about it, maybe I'm not. And I just feel like I find it very very interesting because people can be tapped in and not even know it. And I think that's incredible. It's a superpower that I wish I had. I think I have it to an extent, but I've definitely seen it more prevalent within the most feminine women that I've ever talked to. For sure, for sure. Give me 1 second. Yeah, another point that I want to mention, and like I said, it's going to be kind of referring to something that I mentioned earlier, but I think women get more social validation from being masculine, as opposed to being feminine, and yeah, feminine women truly do not get enough praise, and they get slander. Have you seen any slander on women that are being feminine or trying to be feminine? I won't say trying to
No.
be. They're being feminine.
Not that I've seen on my social media.
Really, I've seen that time and time again. Well, you've heard of the term like the pick me girl, right?
Yeah.
I would say that's semi slander to feminine women. Obviously, the pick me's are a thing on their own. But what do you think about those women in specific, or maybe those are like slightly different than feminine women? What do you say?
The pick me girls?
Yeah. What do you think?
Pick me girls are women who purposely do things for a man's attention. That's usually putting their friends down or I don't know.
Okay, okay. So there's a clear difference between a feminine woman and a woman who's a pick me. Would you say?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure, for sure. All right. Another question that I have for you, and this is going to be a very interesting question, and maybe hopefully it's a question that we haven't exactly answered yet. This question is going to be, how do you think that I've helped you become the best version of your feminine self? Because I've known you for a little bit now, and I think that I've hopefully helped you out.
It's something I said before. You're very patient.
Okay.
You're gentle.
Okay.
You, whenever I have trouble expressing myself, you kind of give me time to think about what I'm trying to say, or you help me figure out what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Okay. Do you think I've helped you? Because, like I said, this is something that I discuss with literally all women that I've ever talked to. Do you think I've helped you like think about certain things a different way when it comes to femininity, as opposed to, I obviously when I met you, you were in nature feminine, but you didn't. I won't say you didn't know it.
I didn't know it.
Oh shit. Well, she didn't know
I
it. I
thought
guess.
this was just how I am.
Okay. With that being said, with me explaining these things to you, do you think I've like clarified specifically what femininity actually looks like and feels like to you?
Yeah. I feel like I almost fell into the trap of people viewing masculine and feminine energy in a bad way.
What do you mean?
Just like I'd always see like TikToks of people putting down that masculine energy
Okay.
and seeing it as toxic. I almost fell into that trap until you kind of explained what it really is.
So you almost fell into the trap, the society's trap.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. That's very interesting actually.
But I didn't because I just skipped the videos.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's so interesting. Yeah, that is a trap. Realistically, that is what it is, though, right? Um, yeah. I'm really ain't got nothing to say besides, hey, it's a trap. All right. So I'm getting back into it, right? So I seen a point that you made recently that is semi controversial to the women nowadays, and I want to get your takes, and hopefully you can get a little bit more deeper into that. So recently on Threads, Jaden said, "I don't understand women who don't want to be married and or have kids. The ones who don't absolutely love being feminine, being able to love, support, cook, clean, and just be able to take care of someone always brings me the most happiness. How are you satisfied with life as a woman when you aren't doing that?" Like I said, just saying that in general gets you canceled. So I want you to get a little bit more in depth with that because I definitely do see kind of your vision for that. But why do you think women would even oppose that in general?
I honestly don't remember what my reason was for posting that. I don't know what I was thinking about at the time.
Okay.
But for me,
Okay.
my biggest goal isn't having a successful career. My biggest goal is having a healthy marriage
Okay.
and a happy family.
Okay.
So I think that's why I find more happiness being able to take care of someone else.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Would you say I would say that's a very very um, selfless point of view to have because and I feel like with that being said, if that's selfless, which is something that I would say is essential for men, for the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, they both need to be very selfless, right? The masculine does it in its own specific way, obviously with providing and protecting for his loved ones, of course. But the woman or the feminine energy is also going to do that same exact thing by not putting themselves first. And I believe the masculine energy at times has to put itself first. Um, I would say early on, but obviously once the masculine energy starts creating a family, I do believe that it becomes everything's for the family, right? At the end of the day, I would agree with that for sure, for sure. Um, but yeah, like I said, that's interesting though, because with that being said, if that's a very very selfless point of view, the inverse of that is being selfish. Do you think women nowadays are very very selfish, or do you think they're very selfless?
The ones who don't want kids and don't want a marriage. I don't know. I wouldn't say they're selfish.
They're selfish.
You think so?
I know so. I know so. The reason, okay, I'll explain. I'll explain. The reason why I think they're very, very selfish is because I don't think they truly have their priorities straight. I don't think they truly know exactly what brings fulfillment in their life. And I think the most fulfillment in life comes when you're going to be the most selfless, right? When you're not thinking, when you're not your main priority, and I do believe there's going to be periods in your life where you're going to need to be your main priority, like you'd mentioned, in the times that you need to heal. That's going to be something that you need to prioritize for yourself. So there's going to be phases in life, whether it's the masculine or whether it's the feminine, where you're going to need to prioritize yourself and only yourself. But I do believe that if in order to live the best life you possibly can, you're going to need to be selfless. You're going to need to be selfless, and anything that combats that is being selfish for sure. So, with that being said, do you think they're being selfish?
I guess.
I guess. Okay. So why do you say that?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have a career for yourself, to do something.
Okay.
But I guess it is selfish to not want to have a family.
Selfish. Okay.
Because if you raise your kids right, in some way you are making the world better.
I would agree. I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. She don't want to get canceled, fellas. It's okay. It's okay.